some of you may know this, I lived for a while, a couple of years back, I lived in the Gaza Strip, and I met some extraordinary and wonderful Palestinians, not all of whom are still alive. But one of the people I met there, I lived with a family for a while, and it was a large family, as quite a lot of families are in the Gaza Strip, and they had a very small daughter of about 6. When I first met him, she was only 6 years old, and she was just a total joy. And I wrote her this poem, and I will follow it by another poem that I wrote about her afterwards. It's called Hint. She butterflied into my life, showering me with kisses, turning around, round, round and around, turning around, round, round and around with her pixie mischief eyes, with her up to no good eyes, with her, it wasn't me, honest eyes glinting, and turning around, round, round and around, turning around, round, round and around, her stream over stones laughter landing on my cheek like wild flower petals, thistledown, buttercup, cuckoo pint, lady's fingers, rainbow girl, gossamer girl, turning my heart around, round, round and around, turning my heart round, round, round and around, green leaf girl, sparrow spring girl, darting forward into trapdoor April, hands ambushing every breathing moment at full throttle, snatching ragged seconds, tearing up pages of life, squandering days of pleasure with a generosity of childhood, with the recklessness of not yet 7, and turning hope around, round, round and around, turning hope around, round, round and around, yeah, turning hope round, round, round and round. And then a couple of years later, she was walking to school with her best friend, and they were sniped by IDF soldiers. And I wrote this poem, it's called Red Onions. My sparrow spring girl is crying again, not silently with precocious dignity of those old before their time, but with noisy, terrified tears as befits an 8-year-old who has just seen her best friend murdered before her eyes. Her weeping splits apart the fabric of evening, a grey cotton shroud torn to bitter shreds, a wailing siren of grief shaking the walls of her home like an angry robber intent on stealing midnight stillness. This vibrant, joyful, dancing child who turned me around with her laughter, spun me like a top until I became dizzy with love, now shouts and trembles, convulsing with torment, beats her father in blind, uncomprehending rage, her small fists nailing stations of the cross upon his flesh. He smokes too many cigarettes, becomes absorbed in the mending of clocks, radios, other broken things, a family joke that seems to have lost its punchline, for his child cannot be fixed tonight, a clockwork toy that has been wound up once too often, spitted by a soldier's sniping savagery. She has been undone by horror, unravelled by memories of blood, splashed with geranium freshness onto the fearful ground. Her brothers hold her close, as if by doing so they will absorb her anguish, join up the circle of her broken heart, rekindle the flame of innocence within her. Her mother occupies herself in the kitchen, holding things together with soup, slivers of chicken, eggplant, green peppers. It is the red onions that make her eyes water, nothing more, just the red onions. And on that happy note, I'm going to read this last piece. That is, I'm going to mangle this language because I'm rubbish at it, but I do my best. It's got some Cornish phrases in it. It's basically a love poem to Cornwall, so please don't shout at me if I get it wrong. Don't mean to. It's called Celnel Cariad. My love brings me stones. salt-rhymed and tide-lashed, bruised by mermaids, Megaris up Doral, daughters of water, and carrying the memories of seal song. My love brings me orchards, heather purple pladding cliff tops, blackberries from the roadside, Ennis, Vallow, island of apples, and the dark curl of adders whispering underground. My love brings me tin, a treasury of wheels agleam at Giver and Batalic, they spinning corridors of power deep under sea, Mappa and Sero, the sons of time, history's great coinage slipping through the hands of men. My love brings me ravens, shadow black their oil-bright wings, wild children of the Morrigan, Ratenis, Bracello, queen of battles, and a tempest of gulls tearing the wind with their weeping. My love brings me children, brine-hearted, each one a wave light stepping to shore with their white foam feet, Milfolinal, Lithau, book of 1,000 pages, their limbs the mottled pewter gleaming of shoaling metal. My love brings me wells, fair lady of Madron, bedecked in hawthornberry, skirted in nettles and briar strewn, Gregeth Winkyo, ridge of wet hedges, her hair a tree of promises. My love brings me harbours, the dancing curtsy of bright-dressed boats, eternal weave of prow and stern, Splangueda, Miris, Mitino, bright mirror of morning, the catch of fisher folks safeguarded from hurricanes. My love brings me legends of kings gathered at Lanyon on the day before end time, swords aloft, their waiting knights each armoured in silver, where hath Wallasso, green country of summer, and maidens so comely, their eyes a grief, their hands a heartbreak. Well, thank you very much, and that's it. Come and buy a book or two. Thank you very much. Can I ask you to give one more round of applause to all these poets?